I'm a marine mechanic, and this Michelson with twin Zeus pods needs some service. First, I'm going to take a good overlook at these two twin prop Zeus pods. Then I'm going to get to draining the oil, which unfortunately on this starboard pod is super milky. This is port pod and it looks way better. So I'm going to take off both the props and see what happened. Before removing this nut, you must wire wheel off all that growth, but once you do, you can pull that big prop. And here we see the cause of that water intrusion for that gear lube is a ton of braid wrapped up in that prop shaft seal. This one has unfortunately cut it super deep and has also scored the prop shaft, which I will be showing you guys in a clip soon. But first I'm taking off these two bolts so I can remove the bearing carrier and get to the shaft. I'm using a specialized Mercury Zeus pod tool to remove that bearing carrier, and without it getting stuck, it should just slide out once enough pressure has been put on it. Taking a closer look at that shaft damage, you can see that braid really grooved out that prop shaft. So we're going to fully remove it and send it out to get resurfaced. So now that we've got a good look at the bottom end of this pod, we're going to go up to the top end and start servicing the fluids. Here we have access to our transmission fluid, and that I'm going to use a suction bottle to slurp it on out. This vacuum bottle does a good job at getting the majority of that transmission fluid out. However, that's not all the fluid in the system, because most are equipped with a drop box that you must remove this drain plug and get all that fluid out of there. It usually takes about 2 or 3 times of pulling that plug and draining that little bucket before getting all the fluid out. Here sitting on the top of the pod is where the transmission filter is at, so I'm pulling it out of its housing. And we have a brand new one going back in. They come with new O-rings, both the bigger one and small one. So we're going to make sure this thing gets resealed and tightened properly. This filter just easily slides right back into its housing, and then the cap keeps it secure. Here I'm removing the drive shaft U-joint cover plates. And I'm doing this so that we can re-grease all the U-joints that basically connect the transmission to the diesel engine that it's powered by. Then I'll check the tightness of these coupler bolts. And unfortunately, that's all the footage I got.